أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المنتجبين المنتخبين لا سيما بعد أما بعد فقد قال سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الحميد وفرقانه الحميد وفرقانه المجيد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الدين عند الله الإسلام. In our 31st episode on Shia'ism, the natural outcome of Islam, we are now dealing with the second part of the term which has long been misunderstood by almost all factions of Muslims. They're all denominations. And that the word is Quran, which has been translated as curse in English language. But in fact it is a refraining, detesting. We find that this word has been used in Quran by Allah Azza wa Jal. And most of the people in the subcontinent take this meaning, this word as a slang word. Very sorry to say that, because this word has some value in it of higher value system in which Allah Azza wa Jal has used in Quran in several places. First, he himself does lan, then there are the Anbiya who does lan, and there are also those who are befriend in this world to each other on the Day of Judgment. The two will lan each other for their misgivings, misguidance within themselves. What is lan? Lan is just the opposite of salawat that we have mentioned in our part 1. Now, salawat is, we say Allah Azza wa Jal has two types of sifat we study in Tawheed, in sifat, the SIFATE SUBUTIYA and SIFATE SALBIYA. SIFATE SUBUTIYA are those which are the attributes of Allah which are of beauty, and SIFATE SALBIYA are those which are of ugliness. SIFATE SUBUTIYA are HAMEEDA, that is beloved, to be loved. SIFATE SUBUTIYA, they are SIFATE SUBUTIYA of attractiveness, SIFATE SUBUTIYA bil HUSN, with beauty, and their opposite are HUSN muqabilat al QUBH. The SIFATE SALBIYA are QUBH, detesting, rejecting, refraining attributes. And so we have, when we have SIFATE HAMEEDA, we have got SIFATE ZIMMIA, giving the same meaning in English language. So the first which we take as SIFATE SUBUTIYA, they are on the positive values, and the SIFATE SALBIYA on the negative values. For the positive values, like KHAIR, good, HUSN, beauty, HAMEEDA, accepting, loving, attracting. These we study in Tawheed. When we will come into subject dealing with Tawheed in our lectures in Shia'ism, the natural outcome of Islam, and Tawheed in the Shia school, Shia Maktab, there we will come in details. But for now, only this much, that this is one side of SIFATE SUBUTIYA as HUSN, HAMEEDA, KHAIR, and their opposites are not found, are called SIFATE SALBIYA. They are ZIMMIA, QUBH, on these lines. So it is but natural for a man who is born on the nature of Allah Azza wa Jal to love beauty and detest, reject, or refrain from the ugliness. Now when we come to salawat, we see that Allah Azza wa Jal says salawat on Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Of course in Ayah Sharifah it says inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi ya ayyuhallazina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Then in Ayah Sharifah, Surah Al-Baqarah 156, 157, when those who befall any tragedy, they say, "Qalu inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un." This was said by Imam Ali at the time of martyrdom of Hazrat Hamza. Then he said, "Qalu," these say, "Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un," and in its succeeding ayat, Allah has said that Allah sends salawat on them. So salawat is on Rasul Akram Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam from Quran, Surah Al-Ahzab, ayat 56, and then salawat on Ali ibn Abi Talib, Amir al-Mu'mineen, in Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat 257, 157. Yeah, 157. After the ayat that succeeds and comes after, in Qalu inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. You can confirm from this. Now in the nature also, we find this, everything tends to beauty, ugly, attraction. We have the two opposites as raham and its opposite, refraining of raham. Raham is mercy, refraining of raham is lan. We find in the two opposites in the words of chemistry as electrophilic reactions and the nucleophilic reactions. Then we find in physics the two opposite forces, equal and opposite. They are the centripetal forces and the centrifugal forces. Then we have in chemistry, we come across in thermodynamics the exothermic and the endothermic. Endothermic which attract heat, exothermic which repel heat. Heat is energy. So those who accept, attract heat, energy, they are endothermic, and those who repel energy from them, they are exothermic. These are the two opposites in language of chemistry. Then we have in biology, we have the metabolism that runs on the system of constructive reactions called anabolic reactions. Then we have the breaking up, their opposite as catabolic. A balance between them is a sign of good metabolism and a good health. So for a healthy system in situ, we require both salawat and lan, as for mercy and for refraining, mercy for good, on good, and refraining from ugly. It is but natural. In the same way, if we take into the digestive system, we have in digestive system we have both. One is the digestion, the assimilation, and then its opposite, the elimination. If there is any imbalance between them, it causes a big problem. You can ask any physician, doctor. This is their line. This is their area to speak about, right? And the circulatory system also, we have two types of systems. That's one, the arterial system, where the oxygenated blood, the pure blood, is taken from heart to the body parts, and the veins that take blood from the body parts to heart for cleaning. The heart, the blood that takes from heart to body parts is full of oxygen, in maximum in oxygen, and the one that's taken from body parts through venules, veins, and to heart is the impure blood, rich in carbon dioxide, which gets filtered in lungs. So one is arterial with pure oxygen, one with impure blood with carbon dioxide that is harmful for man. So these two are opposites. So this one is mercy and one is refraining. They are together as dialect. We can find them. And it is in the same way, in Deen also we have for good, khair, for beauty, HUSN, for attractiveness, HAMEEDA. We have got an attraction that is called tawalla or tawalla. In fact, its accent is tawalli, but in Indo-Pak we usually pronounce it as tawalla. Let me continue with the subcontinent accent. Tawalla. Then the opposite to is tabarri, which Ahl Zaban al-Arabi, they speak tabarri. Tawalli tabari, but we say as tabara. Let me continue with tabara. What is that? That is with all ugly attributes, with all بالمقابل الحسن والحميدة والخير, that is the evil, ugliness and attractiveness, refrainable qualities, one does tabarri or tabarra. That is a refraining. Now, for those with which they have good attributes, we say sallu, as Quran Majid has said, إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Or as in Surah Al-Baqarah it has said, as Ayat Sharifa has come on the word of Imam Ali saying, قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون, as these are those upon whom is salawat of Allah. One can refer to this ayat that immediately follows the Ayat Sharifa, قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون, which is said on the occasion and event of Shahada of Hazrat Hamza alayhi salam. Now let us see, we gave a very little brief account of the ayat that have the word lan in our first episode. Let me go in a little classified way. Let us see where Allah has said lan. Allah himself has said lan. First of all, we come across in Surah Al-Sa'ad, Surah Al-Swad, ayat 77. That ayat is 38th chapter and verse 77, where Allah Azza wa Jal says to Shaitan, Iblis, Khala fakhruj minha fa innaka rajim. Khala fakhruj. Get Khala fakhruj minha fa innaka rajim. Then get thee out from here, for thee thou art rejected, accursed. Then the next verse says, وَإِنَّا عَلَيْكَ لَعْنَتِي إِلَى يَوْمِ الدِّينِ, and my curse shall be on thee till the day of judgment. So this is the lan which Allah Azza wa Jalla is doing. Then we have the second lan which Allah Azza wa Jalla is doing, and that is in Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat 159. It says, Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat number 89. It says, وَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ كِتَابٌ مِّنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا مَعَهُمْ وَكَانُوا مِنْ قَبْلِ يَسْتَفْتِحُونَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا فَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ مَا عَرَفُوا كَفَرُوا بِهِ فَلَعْنَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ. Here the lan is on those who conceal the truth. What is the meaning of kufr? Kufr meaning is concealing, covering, concealing the truth, concealing the fact. So on them, Allah is saying, lanat is on them. Then again, Allah Azza wa Jal is saying lan in ayat 159 of the same chapter, Surah Al-Baqarah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَكْتُمُونَ أَنزَلْنَا مِنَ الْبَيِّنَاتِ وَالْهُدَى مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا بَيَّنَّهُ لِلنَّاسِ فِي الْكِتَابِ أُولَٰئِكَ يَلْعَنُهُمُ اللَّهُ وَيَلْعَنُهُمُ اللَّاعِنُونَ. These are the people on these characters which Allah has given, that those who katama, they conceal the facts, the truth. On them Allah sends lan, and those among you who sends lan, they also send lan along with Allah. So this is the only edging point, edging one, where only the Imamiyya Asna Shari, they say lan as part of their tawalli, tabari, part of deen, part of mazhab. Then we have Allah Azza wa Jal in Surah Al-Imran at the time of Mubahala guides Rasul Akram Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and says that say lan to those who are kazibin. Says Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَمَنْ حَاجَّكَ فِيهِ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَكَ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ فَقُلْ تَعَالَوْا نَدْعُ أَبْنَاءَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَكُمْ وَنِسَاءَنَا وَنِسَاءَكُمْ وَأَنفُسَنَا وَأَنفُسَكُمْ ثُمَّ نَبْتَهِلْ فَنَجْعَلْ لَعْنَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْكَاذِبِينَ. That is, after the truth is established. The first condition is that truth got established. And even then, after getting the truth in its all clear way, still if one conceals, then on them, for them Allah is saying, okay, come with your children with your nafs, our children, your children, wanisa'ana, wanisakum, our women, your women, one fosana, one fosakum, our people, our men, your men, fama nabtahil, then do mubahala. And in that, let us do learn on Kazibin. So whoever will be the Kazibin, when Allah will come, the world will be a witness to see who were on the wrong and who got the wrath of Allah, anger of Allah, and for whom the rahmat of Allah was removed. Then we have in Surah Al-Nisa, Allah Azza wa Jalla says, this is for the Hadu Jews. الذين هادوا يحرفون الكلمة عن مواضعه. These are the people who are Jews who change their places of ayat in their books, and with which they change the meaning. If you change the context, if you change the words, meaning, interpretations, and the places in which they have come from there, if you remove, then the meaning will be changed. So this is something which the Jews used to do. This is Surah An-Nisa, ayat 46. ويقولون سمعنا وعصينا واسمع غير مسمعين وراعنا ليا بألسنتهم وطعنا في الدين ولو أنهم قالوا سمعنا وأطعنا واسمع وانظرنا لكان خير اللهم وما ولكن لعنهم الله بكفرهم فلا يؤمنون إلا قليلا. Here also the curse, the lan is of Allah on those who change places, context of ayat, the verses from their books. Why these ayat are coming? Because these ayat are coming so that this ummah of Rasul may also not do them. Otherwise they too will be subject to lan from Allah. The question arises, when Quran is one, how could there come out 73 meanings of same Quran? We have to think over. Let us study this ayat which I have just read out, Surah Al-Nisa, ayat 46. And our denominations, we have to think and rethink before death approaches us, because after that there is no return. Then in Ma'idah we again come across Surah Al-Ma'idah, ayat 64. وقالت اليهود يد الله مغلولة غلت أيديهم ولعنوا بما قالوا بل يداه مبسوطتان ينفق كيف يشاء. The Jews say Allah's hand is tied up. Allah's hand is tied up. Be their hands tied up and be they accursed for the blasphemy they utter. Here the accursed on their allegation, Allah's hand, na'uzubillah, are tied up. It's from Allah to these Jews. وَخَالَتِ الْيَهُودِ. Then we find, after Allah Azza wa Jal cursing the ayat which we have presented, we see the Anbiya, like Hazrat Dawood and Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, are also cursing. This is ayat number 78 of Surah Al-Ma'idah, which says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. لعن الذين كفروا من بني إسرائيل على لسان داود وعيسى بن مريم ذلك بما عصوا وكانوا يعتدون. Curses were pronounced on those among the children of Israel who rejected faith by the tongue of David, Dawud alayhi salam, and of Jesus, son of Mary alayhi salam, because they disobeyed and persisted in excesses. Then we find that there is a word as a promise. The word is very heavy. It says wa'ada. In Surah Al-Tawbah, ayat 68, it says, وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الْمُنَافِقِينَ وَالْمُنَافِقَاتِ وَالْكُفَّارَ نَارَ جَهَنَّمَ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا. Allah had promised the hypocrites, men and women, and the rejectors of faith, the fire of hell. That first the pronouncement is for munafiqeen, hypocrites, be men or be women, and then comes kuffar. Then the ayat proceeds, Allah had promised the hypocrites, men and women, and the rejectors of faith, the fire of hell. Therein shall they dwell. Sufficient is it for them. For them is the curse of Allah. The ayat says, وَلَّعَنَهُمُ اللَّهُ وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُقِيمٌ. So this again curses from Allah Azza wa Jalla. Not only that, the issue of modesty, chastity of women is so important in Islamic thought that with kufr, with munafiqat, where there is cursing, Allah Azza wa Jal has also pronounced, said, lan, for those who play with the modesty of women, chastity of women, respect of women. Surah An-Nur, ayat number 20, ayat 23, 24th chapter, ayat 23, it says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ الْمُحْصَنَاتِ محسنات الغافلات المؤمنات لعنوا في الدنيا والآخرة ولهم عذاب مقيم ولهم عذاب عظيم. Those who slander chaste women, indiscreet but believing are cursed in this life and in the hereafter. For them is a grievous penalty. Each of the wrongdoers who cooperated in this worldly life for their wrongdoings of idolatry, inappropriate leadership, followings will themselves curse each other. Now, here in this verse, Surah Al-Nur, ayat 23, the lan is on those who slander, put allegations on chaste women who are believers of immodesty, of inchastity. For them also, Allah says, curse is on them. So lan is on them also, and that too in dunya wal akhirah. Then you find the lan on each kuffar doing on themselves. That is kuffar people on the day of judgment. That ayat is of Surah Al-Ankabut, chapter 29 and verse 25, which says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَقَالْ إِنَّمَا اتَّخَذْتُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ أَوْثَانًا مَوَدَّةَ بَيْنِكُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا ثُمَّ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ يَكْفُرُ بَعْضُكُم بِبَعْضٍ وَيَلْعَنُ بَعْضُكُم بَعْضًا وَمَأْوَاكُمُ النَّارُ وَمَا لَكُم مِّن نَاصِرِينَ. And he said, for you, ye have taken for worship idols besides Allah out of mutual love and regard between yourselves in this life. But on the day of judgment, you shall disown each other and curse each other. So each of the kuffar also will do curse lan on the day of judgment. Each other, and your abode will be the fire, and ye shall have none to help. So in this, we can conclude that a subject that has been found in Quran, which Allah Azza wa Jal has said, Anbiya alayhi salam has said, for the sins of kufr, nifaq, and even of those who dislodge, dismantle, destroy the image, chastity, modesty of mu'minat, they also are being cursed. I don't think now we have not left any stone unturned in proving that lan is a ibadah which Allah has commanded us to do, because Allah also does this, and His Anbiya also do this. So lan is nothing but dua for refraining from mercy of Allah. As we have quoted in the first part from Riwayat Rasul Akram sallallahu alayhi wa sallam from Al-Usul al-Kafi, 2 volumes, 1 and 2. With this we end our episode on the subject of lan, and from hereafter we will proceed on further lines on the subject of Shia'ism, the natural outcome of Islam. So the end conclusion is that lan is also one of the signs in recognizing, in knowing the thought which comes from Quran, which Allah also does, and as per ayat 159 of Surah Al-Baqarah, which also is done by only the Shia and Ahlul Bayt. Does this not prove that Shia'ism is the natural outcome of Islam? The question is that we have to be very reasonable, academic, polite, in all the best, Islamic ways of debating on it and talking on it, instead of applying emotions or the emotion, getting involved into the vicious cycles of emotions. So with this, we conclude our present 31st episode. To see you inshallah ta'ala in the next episode. Till then, Khuda Hafiz, fi amanillah, fi hifzillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. Wassahil makhrajahum wa shurna mahum. Warzuqna shafa'atahum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma kulli waliyaka al-hujjat ibn al-Hasan. صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك الطوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. اللهم صل على محمد آل محمد وعجل فرجهم وسهل مخرجهم واحشرنا معهم وارزقنا شفاعتهم.